Without mindfulness, can we find who we are? First, Brishan, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you are asking the question, one of the biggest questions that we can ask ourselves is, who am I, right? Who am I? In the whole world, not everyone knows mindfulness, right? Not everyone knows mindfulness. So I think it would be a bit unfair to say that mindfulness is the answer to to that question. Is you gotta practice mindfulness to know who you are. I have it that, and this is also my belief, is that to know who you are, you can practice mindfulness or you can practice meditation to understand yourself. And sometimes it's also not that easy, because you never know, right? You need to really practice, and of course, you need to do things in the real world. You need to go out into the real world and do things in order to know who you are. But I don't think it's necessary to practice mindfulness in order to know who you are, because there are people out there who doesn't even know what mindfulness is, but they get a good sense of who they are and what they are about, why they're here, what's their purpose, right? So again, I want to go back to the first thing that I mentioned, is that mindfulness is really just a practice, right? So there's a lot of things that we can do in life. So it's very similar to the gym analogy. So going to the gym is just one way of becoming healthier or becoming fit. But there's a lot of exercises you can do. Sports, you can run, or can have a physical activity. You walk regularly, then those things also help you physically. So I have it that there are other tools, other practices that people can use in order to know who they are as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but mindfulness is one of the ways to do it. Is mindfulness always focusing on the present and non-judging? Yes. Yes. The shortest answer is yes. I explained already that the main definition of mindfulness is really creating that awareness for us to be in the present moment. So, non-judging, I love this. Non-judging, let me share more on that. So now that we are present, one of the things that is the effect when we practice mindfulness or when we practice meditation, is that now that we can start to observe. Oh, by the way, I want to clarify this, because I remember some of my students before, when I was teaching, they were asking me about meditation. And so one particular question is always standing out. They always ask this question: is the purpose of meditation to quiet the mind? And in essence, meditation is not supposed to quiet your mind. Meditation is actually helping you practice and strengthen your mind to not listen to your crazy mind, the little voice that you hear. If I were to compare it to something that a lot of people would understand, when we want to build muscles, what we want, a very nice body, big muscles, we actually go to the gym, right? So we go to the gym, and then we go and exercise, we lift weights, and the muscles become better, right? Meditation is like going to the gym, but for your mind. And so that's what it does. So you train your mind to become stronger and stronger. And your mind doesn't become quiet. It's just you're able to manage your mind so that it is not too noisy and you're not entertaining that little voice, right? So I want to clarify that when it comes to meditation, because I think people have a wrong perception or wrong expectation from meditation. So a lot of people, not a lot, some of the people that I meet, they stop meditation because they feel it's not working. So it's not supposed to be like that. So it's supposed to just train your mind so that your mind will be stronger. Okay, so let's go back to the question. So non-judging. So when we are meditating, for example, then the main exercise that we are doing when we are meditating, or what we are being mindful of, is we start to notice what is actually happening inside our mind. So whether hear the voices, or maybe you see pictures, or you see a movie, whatever is happening inside your mind, what we are practicing when we are being mindful or when we are meditating is we start to observe it. We start to separate ourselves from what is happening inside, right? And which is very interesting, because I started talking about the little voice, right? So because I'm very auditory, so I can relate a lot with when it comes to voice. So when I started learning about mindfulness, so they started talking about little voice. And so one key distinction is that if you can hear the little voice, right? If you can hear the little voice, then who is listening? So who is the little voice and who is listening, right? So that was mind-boggling to me. It's like, yeah, oh my god, am I crazy? Is a lot of personalities inside my head? So one is talking and then one is listening. But that's exactly it. Like there is this other self that we have, which is the one that is observing, which is the one that is listening. So that's the fascinating thing, right? So our mind, there is that part of our mind that is very noisy, and then going to the past, going to the future, going to the past, going to the future. And then there's a part of our mind that is just observing. So it's like the boss, like how bosses just observe things and then like strategizes. So that is a part of our mind. And so that part is the one that you want to develop, because that part just observes, it doesn't judge. And so that's one of the benefits when you practice mindfulness or when you practice meditation. And then you start to just become very, very good at noticing, very good at observing, not only inside but also outside, right? And so that's the main purpose of one of the main purpose of mindfulness as well.
Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.